Hello, y'all. What's up? Happy Saturday. Is there anybody there? I'll wait a few minutes. Hello, y'all. What's up? Happy Saturday. Oh, it's me. Hey, it's me. That's a great name. It's me. Hey, it's me. Should wait like, I don't know, 5 minutes. Hey, Ray. Hey, it's me. Sorry, you guys. I wanted to do a live broadcast last Saturday, but I had to work on some stuff. Like my hair is sticking out. Let's see. Hello, Wanderlust Rocker. It's me from California. Oh, where are you from in Cali? Where are you from? I'm from California. I live in Texas now, but I'm from Cali. Hey, M. Smith. Hey, Ray. Hey, Ray. Hey, Ray. Hey, Tim. All right. I can't put that. I think I'll do this. Okay. Always learning. Thank you. Hey, what's up? Always learning. Thank you. Poisonous nut. Poisonous nut. Hey, what's going on? Your name's cracked me up. PNW. What does that mean? Is my hair sticking out? It's like sticking out on the side. I look a little dorky. PNW. What does that mean? Kamala Harris is so despite for the president. Oh, desperate. You mean desperate for the presidency, having her nephew stage this bogus attack. What? That's her nephew? No. Are you saying Jussie is her nephew? Is that true? Tons more cowboy. What's up? Are you named after that sketch on Saturday Night Live where he's like, more cowbell, more cowbell? Allegedly. Okay, his mother's maiden name is Harris. Oh, really? I mean, if somebody made that connection and they found that out, that would be interesting. Yes, that was my music blog's name. Yeah. Yeah, that would be interesting. I was kind of initially thinking, and I saw Diamond and Soak's analysis of it, that he didn't do this by himself, that there was something behind it. But he could be that narcissistic and that selfish that he would pull something like that. And then just because people are so desperate to pin something on Trump and his supporters that they just jumped all on it, right? Like they did with those boys, which, by the way, the Washington Post is getting sued for $250 million. And I hope that kid wins. That'd be awesome. He wins all that money. I mean, he'll probably get half and then have to pay his lawyers, but that's still enough money where he wouldn't have to work for the rest of his life. And then he should not only sue them, but he should sue other news agencies too, because they weren't the only ones, Those poor little kids, man. Even when I was a teacher and I had kids that got on my nerves, I wouldn't say the things that people were saying about these kids. It was just horrible. As a teacher, most of the time I got along with my students because I respected them. I didn't talk to them like they were stupid, and I love kids. And I like to teach. But even when I would get mad at my kids, like I would never, just the things that they were saying, that they hope they get like raped and beat and, they were getting doxxed and all this stuff. Just because he was smiling, that's just ridiculous. Journalism in the mainstream media is dead. It's terrible. I was asked if I was someone for not blindly believing Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett. Yeah, who asked you that, M. Smith? Who asked you that? That's ridiculous. Anyway, that's terrible that people asked you that or said that to you. Hey, I'm sorry if I can't say your name. Charisma. Charisma. Hey, Charisma. Hey, Sunglass. My CNN watching Dan. Oh no. CNN is the worst. You know what's even worse? Like, I don't know for you guys, a lot of you guys probably know that watch this channel, but I lived overseas for 2 years and I just got a lot of insight by living out the country. And the thing that really disturbs me about the fake news is not just it's not just what am I trying to say? It's not just in the United States, it's worldwide. And what happens is I notice a lot of countries outside of the United States, they basically just translate what CNN and BBC and all the main news outlets say here into their own language. They don't like come here really and do investigative research and talk to other people and try to get a different perspective. They just assume that, you know, this media is accurate and they do their due diligence, and it's dangerous. And it's these assholes are influencing the whole world, and they know this, right? So yeah, my friend in Taiwan, I was asking what do they think about Trump, and she said that they think he's a dictator. I'm like, oh God, for real? And then I interviewed a guy named oh God, I'm so tired. Shelform Ballantyne, and he wrote a book called No Dress for Timmy, which is being banned on Amazon. You guys should check out the interview if you get a chance. But he's from St. Vincent, which is in the it's in the Caribbean. It's in the Caribbean. And he was saying that you know, basically they think the same thing about Trump, even though it's fascinating. They have a lot of conservative values. They're technically conservatives, but they believe the media hype about Trump, you know? Yep, they do that in Japan. Sad. Yeah, it's worldwide on Sunglass. It's worldwide. This is what I noticed, like traveling and stuff, you know? Um, Fox News is, I mean, I'm not all about Fox News, but I will take them over CNN. They at least do, you know, I think they're better. They're better, you know. But you know what, Paul Wise, um, Fox News is, you know, the thing about CNN is they like want to say that they try and pretend like they're fair and unbiased, and they're biased. And human nature, as companies, people are going to have their biases. Just be honest about your bias, right? And and CNN isn't in the mainstream media. That's what it is. Um, that's what it is. They're not honest about their bias, you know. No more. Thanks, no more. Hey Neil. Um, so I turn my phone off. But yeah, so I mean, they're just liars. And CNN also makes up stuff. They make up stuff. So I haven't really seen Fox. You know, it's fine to have a bias, but I haven't seen Fox be caught in the act of making stuff up and race baiting. They don't really race bait. But yeah, I mean, you're gonna have a bias no matter what. I know, no more, no more, no more. Actually, created the little logo for me for the when I do the little mini movies of the little rabbit and the little spirals. Like he did that. He's brilliant. He's really good. He's my other editing friend that I show stuff to, and if it's bad, I get ripped a new one. So. Is there Dylan? You know, BP, I'm working on that for the future though. I really want to talk to people. That would be dope. I'm barely able right now at this point to do live streams. I'm trying to do it at least once a week. Okay, Paul Wise, so how does Fox race bait? Tell me. Fox don't race bait? Wow. Okay. I haven't seen them race baiting. I can't think of you know but they're biased and I don't agree. Is there a dial-in? Oh, Blog Talk Radio, BP. We were our episodes, our podcasts are on Blog Talk Radio, but I don't know how to do. I think I need some software and I need to get a number. I just need to figure all that out. I barely have time right now, but in the future, I need to get on Instagram, okay, and be like in Twitter. We're on Twitter. My partner, not my partner, my best friend, and we run the channel together, but she's not physically here, but she does post on Facebook and stuff. She does a lot of the other social media, but we're on Twitter and we're on Instagram, and I need to be on Instagram and Twitter. It's just hard. I can barely do YouTube. You know, I have like a full-time job. I have other things I'm doing. So it's hard. I'm just, hey man, I'm waiting for that $200 million donation, and then I can hire somebody to help me with the social media. I can do call-ins every day. They all drink out of the same coffee pot. Yeah, Twitter gets nasty, I heard. We did Blog Talk. I just think that now the majority of the subscribers are on here. So if I had a call in, I would probably do it from YouTube. Fox is controlled opposition. I think I miss M. Smith. I'm going to say Mrs. Smith, M. Smith. I think that I just, I look at all the news stations and I try and pick out what I believe is right and kind of compare it to other things, and that's how I make my decision. What do you mean by be more? I think I know what you're going to say, but I also feel like people use the words controlled opposition and shills like way too loosely. So I know, like, I've seen, as much as I like Tucker in some ways, I've seen him be a complete dick to these guys that were 9/11 truthers, and I'm thinking, as smart as Tucker is, like, he should look into it. Even Geraldo admitted that, Geraldo Rivera even admitted that he used to be against it, and then he did some research and he kind of looked into it, and he admitted the official story has a lot of holes in it. So I didn't even bother watching the image news. I read as much as I can from all sides. Yeah. I mean, I try and just see, hey, Roger, hey, that's just my view. It's a general term. Yeah. People just say that, right? Hey, what's up? So I think, the thing about just people is people have different blind spots according to their life experience, according to their, belief systems. So just because you are awake in one area, you could be totally asleep in another area, depending on certain things that you're willing to look into or deny or all that stuff. So doesn't necessarily mean I think somebody is a shield or controlled opposition. I just think that, Fox is funded by, I think all these mainstream media organizations with big money, they want a certain narrative to be shown. And I think if you have, even if I had money and I'm donating money to somebody, say I was a millionaire or billionaire and I'm giving money to somebody, I'm going to want them to produce my narrative in the way that I would, I wouldn't. But the thing about mainstream media is they're manipulating things and they're, purposely editing out information to control that narrative. But I think that, when you have somebody that controls you and that donates to you, you're going to want to appease their worldview and their agenda, no matter what station you are. I did not go to college in Wisconsin. I've never even been in Wisconsin. Jason Sale. I've been trying, Jason. I don't know. We'll just see. I would have just been getting home from work right now, but I didn't work today. I got a flat tire. So most of my day was spent just taking care of that, which was really that is so, by the way. So I'm answering the questions and everything. Yeah, I've never been to Wisconsin. I try to do a live. Cool. Thanks for the reply on Blog Talk. There's still many African Americans who back Jussie. Why do you think that is so? I'll give you my opinion, but I don't like to speak for the whole Black race. Let me sit up because I'm all like, I think that a lot of people are caught up in their own idea of what they, or somebody, I'll put it this way. There are a lot of people that are addicted to their race, and because of that, they don't want to admit that their race is wrong. It's just simple stubbornness, I think, you know? And there's some people that are just so like, I did a video a while ago talking about addicted to Blackness. And I mean, there are people like this of all races. So I'm not just saying it's all Black people, but you know, there are Black people I've known that won't even go anywhere or do anything unless there are other Black people around, because they feel like they can't thrive or survive unless they're around their own kind. And they're, like I said, there are people like that of all races. So I think, you know, they don't want to admit that they were wrong. And a lot of it is just ego, you know, because they want to. It's same thing when the media just jumped on this without any real evidence. They want to believe there's so many, you know, that there's so many Trump supporters that are all evil and racist, and they just ran with it without any investigative research. Oh no, sorry to hear that. All many people know each other. I wouldn't say all. They all know each other. I'm sure it's probably really small. But I think that's why. I mean, like I said, I can't speak for all Black people, but I mean, like, you know, there's still white people that were backing him, you know, saying that, oh, he's mentally ill, like, you know, don't go hard on him. I also think there's propaganda based mind control. Yep. The entertainment industry pushes division as well as victim mentality. Yep. Conscious care, very right. Why don't you wrong is not an excuse to descend your. Oh, you're one of these like blacker than thou people, Paul Wise. Oh my God. It's the Black police. The Black police is up in the chat. They're trying to tell me how Black I should be. Oh no, what do I do? Especially on the Black community. Well, I think it's with everybody. They have different ways of brainwashing every race. But oh, you mean the victim mentality? Yeah, it's bad. It doesn't serve us. I heard that Matt Hicks. I heard that Van Jones compared. Oh, I should read the question. I'm all over the place. Matt Hicks, have you heard Van Jones' statement? I heard that he compared Jussie to Jackie Robinson, which is a damn insult if you ask me. What is the message that MAGA supporters need to convey that will help change minds? I just think that the way the media is acting will help change people's mind and how people are reacting to the situation. Because that's what's been doing the job of getting people to walk away from the Democratic Party. And you know, I'm not all about the Republican Party either. I think they're corrupt in a lot of ways as well. Okay. So I think that let me see. Yeah, what was the message Max person needs to convey? Yeah, I mean, I'm not, you know, I was talking to a friend about this today. Like, I'm not concerned about those people that are stubborn. Like, let them suffer. They want to suffer, let them suffer. You know, I'm trying to talk to people that want to, that, you know, that we're vibing on the same wavelength. That there are people that want to be angry and, you know, tell me how Black I should be and stuff. Like, they're lame, they're losers. They're usually not really happy people, no matter what race they are. And I don't want to be dealing with lame losers. Like, I want to enjoy my life. I want to thrive. I want to, you know, reach for the stars. I'm not really concerned about trying to please people that, you know, already have their minds made up. It's really hard. Either you can plant the seed, and then either they're going to come around or they're not. You know? So I I don't check Twitter often. I'm going. I'm trying to work out a system where I'm better with that. Town P. I was shocked about Omi has become a psychological operation. Yeah, Eric. You should look into Operation. Is it Mockingbird? I think it's Mockingbird. You can go to YouTube right now. You can type in Operation Mockingbird, and you can see testimony in court in Congress of officials talking about how they infiltrated how the CIA has infiltrated the media. But you also have to think of it this way too. There are a lot of big businesses, especially the pharmaceutical industry, that finance the media, and oil, and so they're going to control what people say, what they don't say, and a lot of people just shut up and fall in line because they're getting paid big money, or they have families to feed, or whatever. They don't want to lose their job, or they don't want to lose their power. Ocean flower, actors and celebrities are all self-absorbed and in zero self-reflection. Yeah, I mean, I was a theater arts major and a music and composition theory major, so I have respect for the craft of acting. But I was thinking about that too, where a lot of people are like, oh, it just makes gay people and Black people look bad. And I honestly thought, I was like, oh, it makes actors look bad. Like actors just have such a bad rap. And I mean, I'm not doing it now, and I don't really like the industry, but I mean, it really brought me out of my shell. I used to be super scared to talk in front of people. And I got into it when I was a kid, so I wouldn't be afraid to talk in front of people. I was able to first place I went to the Czech Republic on an acting, on an acting project. I've met people, like really cool people. Like it's been a process of catharsis for me. So I feel like I owe a lot of acting and the acting craft. And when I look at Hollywood, it's just been so perverted that it makes me feel sad that, yeah, most it seems like to thrive in that environment now, you have to be self-absorbed and narcissistic, or but that's how they control you too. Like self-absorbed narcissistic people are easy to control because they're not gonna step out of line because they don't want to lose their power or their fame. So it sucks, but it's definitely been. Is Jussie Smollett friends with Maxine Waters? I don't know. It's a wine bottle. You know what I'm drinking? I'm drinking celery juice. Oh no, I'm trying to keep up with all the questions. How much time will Smollett get? They want to bring them down. Oh, dude, I was keeping up good and I messed up with the chat. Hold on. Okay. I'm not Black. I just love my race. I love my race too, Paul Wise. I love the human race. That's the race I love. Okay. Actors and celebrities also absurd. Okay, that's where I was. Harris is guilty. I would love to find out if she had something to do with that. They want to bring you down with them. I get rid of people quick. I feel the same way. How much time will Smollett get? I don't know. Jussie is an actress, plain and simple. He's an activist, I guess, Dan Maloney, but I also think that he's just he's narcissistic. If he really was like trying to do that for power, for more money, that's even like worse. It's worse than I thought, But they just used him. See, like in that environment too, everybody uses each other. And that's the sad thing about Hollywood, because people use each other. And I'm sure the only reason he's getting thrown under the bus like this is because, they made him look like a fool. Right? So, any tips for hitting on Black chicks? I winked at one at Walmart and she tried to fight me. Well, I'm a person, dude. I'm not like just a Black chick. You gotta just be a person. Just be. People wink at me. Perversely for me, it doesn't bother me. I don't get offended. But I'll tell you what not to to say to black chicks. Don't like, come up and rap. Don't like, don't try to be like, don't act like you think what am I trying to say? Don't act like you don't like play the stereotypes of how you think black chicks are or what they're into. Like every person's a different person. I'm black, but I'm a person first. So I really appreciate anybody that just approaches me, like a regular person. And I have been hit on by guys that are non-black, and that does annoy me when I feel like non-black guys are just like, they're blacker than me, or they feel like they have to act blacker than me. I know this one guy that in high school, and I actually liked him, but he would tell me stuff, and he would be like, yeah, my grandfather's black. I was like, your grandfather's not black. Like, he thought like he had to tell me certain things in order to make me like him, and when you genuinely like somebody, you're just yourself. I know that sounds cheesy, but just be yourself. Like, how would you approach any other woman? Like, you wouldn't approach a black woman differently, So, yes, conscious care, mockingbird, yes, paperclip, yes, bluebird, yes, bluebird. Oh yes, bluebird. I forgot about bluebird. I think that's a response for somebody that was talking about mind control in media. So you should look at Mockingbird, Project Mockingbird, Project Paperclip, Project Bluebird, and MK Ultra. You have to choose lies over truth and make a case in truth for sake. Okay. All declassified actual operations. Yes. Oh, conscious care. You're like woke. Okay. I really love the new. I know the darkness that's. Oh, thank you, Sunglass. It took me a long time. I'm really retarded when it comes to like graphic design, and one of my best friends is an artist. He's an amazing artist, and I did it myself. It took me a while, but it took me like a couple weeks to figure that out. But I know people that can do that in a couple hours. But thank you. Do you get into conspiracies like Pearl Harbor, Operation Paperclip, the Moonlight JFK assassination? Jason Sale. I do. I haven't really gone down the moon landing rabbit hole. I haven't gone down the Pearl Harbor rabbit hole either, because I just kind of find out about that one. I know about Operation Paperclip, JFK assassination. Yes. If you go to our main page, like if you go to the channel, we interviewed Jim Mars before he died. And I keep saying we, if you're new, my best friend and I started this channel, and she's dealing with her family right now, so I've just taken over. But I want to cut that interview up, man. So that's such a good interview. This is one of the interviews I'm most proud of, or we're both most proud of. You should go and check out that interview with Jim Mars. And if you guys don't know who he is, he was one of the first investigative journalists on the site when JFK was assassinated, and he followed it for years and years and researched it for years. And he has such a comprehensive, he's done such comprehensive research that Oliver Stone used his book as a reference to write the JFK movie. So he's awesome. Fit the masses. Thank you, Raymond. What is your stance on E-Verify? I haven't looked into that. Is that E-Verify? That's what they want to use to verify the illegal immigrants, or make sure people aren't hiring illegal immigrants. LH Micro Operation Mockingbird is a media infiltration operation. I think Hollywood's inclusive. Yeah, definitely. Hollywood's corrupt. Yeah, and it sucks. It's sad, like Hollywood is corrupt. Damn it, I messed up again. Hold on. Darn it. Okay, I'm trying to go back. I am trying to get through these questions. I messed up. Okay, there we go. Hollywood's corrupt. It's sad. Sooner now. Hollywood super guy used to like Robert De Niro. Yeah, man, Robert De Niro like flipped out, dude. I had a friend that said something about Robert De Niro. He's a fighter. He's like a martial artist. And he was saying that like Robert De Niro and Jimmy Kimmel, like he knows something's up with them. He was like, they act like scared fighters that are, like a lot of fighters that they know they can't fight. He was saying they like talk crap or they're very, they're like hiding something. I was going to do the celery juice. Czech Republic was a fun place. It was cool. I see that years ago, but I found out personally for sure. Amen. It just has celery juice. Okay, celery juice, is that a real thing? I feel old now. Yeah, I have a juicer. It's supposed to be good. I'm cleaning out the liver, and it's like a fad right now. But I know that it's good for you. So Angela Davis friends with Jussie's mom. So, yeah, sociopath. He's a troll now. You take the celery, you put it in the juicer. Okay, hey room, hey suburban. Skin color is the only medicine the ancestors was exposed to. He's a sociopath, just in the past week he's not a slick. One last question for you. Do you support reparations for all right, my blacker than thou black police person. I don't really care about reparations. Only thing I want to say about reparations is I think that it's just when the government gave reparations to Native Americans and Japanese people, it was a slippery slope because now I think a lot of, and I do feel this way to a point too, a lot of black people feel like, well, if they got reparations, then why aren't we getting reparations? So I think reparations for a lot of black people, they just feel like it's a slap on the face because we've been in this country for years and we fought in wars and, we've contributed a lot to this country. And yet, we didn't get reparations. So I think it's kind of like, it's kind of a slap in the face in some instances, but at the same time, I don't really care. Like, I'm not like, if we get reparations, it's not going to solve the problems of the black community. Like that's the last thing I'm worried about, and it's not going to undo all of the, even the people that got money, it's not undoing the suffering that their ancestors endured. So, I'm more interested in cleaning up the gang problem, making sure that there are more black entrepreneurs. If I had to talk about, issues of the black race, fixing the, prison reform, education, health. That's more important to me than reparations. See, somebody told you to shut up and die? That's crazy. Hey, Tina. That's messed up. I'm glad you're not dead. I'm glad you're here. I think it's way deeper than what you're seeing. I think he was a test balloon. He felt badly. Yeah, this BP saying that he thinks Jussie was a test balloon. I think that I don't think that there's a part of me that kind of thinks that he wasn't the only one involved. I don't really have any proof right now. So I can't really say that, with conviction, but instinctually, when this first came out, that was my first instinct that he, like, somebody put him up to it or there's somebody else involved. 3N6C. Girl, so if she tried to fight you, he said that chick, so 3N6, he said earlier he winked at a girl in Walmart and she tried to fight you, then that girl is not for you. That girl is not for you. You need to get another girl. She's a bitch anyway. Like, why would you fight somebody because they wink at you? I wink back at people. I don't trip like that. You need, that girl obviously has anger issues, no matter what race she is. So there are people just, you don't even want to get, she might have been pretty, but you don't want that. Exactly. Having categories as your main staple of who you are is a setback to yourself and people in general. Yep. Can you do and giving good on gang stalking? Seems like I did a video about that a while ago, or I've talked about it. I've definitely been gang stalked. I wrote some lesson plans on vaccines, on GMOs and on the beneficial, how cannabis is beneficial. And I had a bunch of people in a Facebook group. I posted, I was like, hey guys, they're on sale. My PDFs are on sale. And here you can get them. And I had them on sale on a lesson plan site for teachers. Those motherfuckers, would you know, they came back and they fucking gang stalked me for a week, like start writing bad comments, making my ratings go down. I was like, well, we're not even on social media. But maybe I'll give you, I can talk more about that in the future. I did a little bit talking about trolls. I did a video. If you guys want to start your own channel and you want to learn more about editing, I did a video last week called Trolls and Editing. And I talk a little bit about trolling or trolls, gangs. I guess gang stalking trolls is considered that, how to deal with trolls a little bit. And then I also gave some references of software and other programs I use for editing and all that stuff. So so you might want to check that out. What the fuck, the global threat list, and you're beautiful by any measure. Oh, thank you, Singles Virtue. Yes, I'm actually, I'm my next little mini movie I'm doing. I'm working on that. So yeah, Anti-Vaxxers. Do you guys want to get into that? You can talk about that because that's what I put. Anti-Vaxxers on the global threat list. So I'm probably gonna lose some subscribers right now, but I got into, I guess, the truth or whatever, or the truth, being a truth seeker, by realizing the corruption in the pharmaceutical industry. So and usually when it's so funny because I'll do a video and I get a lot of subscribers. And then I'll make a video about vaccines. They're like, fuck you, you anti-vax bitch. And I'll get some nasty, comments and stuff, and then they'll bounce. But I mean, that's fine, So somebody made what the fuck, the global threat list. This is a comment that I'm starting at. Yeah. Anti-vaxxers are on the global threat list. And what's interesting about that is, like, why are we on the global threat list? If the science is so good and vaccines are so great, wouldn't people be lining up to get them? Why are on the global threat list? And the thing is, now you have to realize that anything that we've learned about, well, anything in history, really, if you think about it, is based on a system of trust, right? We trusted people, to tell us the right thing. And now with this election, a lot of people are starting to see how fake the news is, how things are manipulated, how we've been lied to about a lot of stuff. It's not just the political side. But I think with the advent of the internet, people are able to share information faster. We can, people can upload books and medical journals and, their testimonies and everything. And the pharmaceutical industry has lost control of the narrative. So more and more people are questioning vaccinating their kids, and it's getting very, the pharmaceutical industry is basically being exposed. So they're trying to say that anti-vaxxers on the global threat list. I mean, we're not preaching hate. We're not preaching killing people, but we're just saying, hey, they're telling you this thing. This is what I've experienced. There are other doctors that think this. Look at both sides and do your research. And once people really do research, they don't vaccinate. And there's if you look at this video called "The Science of Anti-Vaccination," it's from Side Channel. Basically, it's pro-vaccine, but it's telling people. There's a guy that says basically when parents are given the option, like if they take their child in and they wait, right? They research, they're 8 times less likely to vaccinate their children. 8 times less likely. Why is that? It's just interesting, right? You would think if the science is on their side, if it's, they've done no long-term studies of the schedule of this, I think it's 69 doses now. They've never tested the synergistic effects of all of the chemicals in the schedule. The pharmaceutical industry that sells the vaccines, that has patents on the vaccines, does the safety studies saying that vaccines are safe and effective. The CDC owns like at least 25 patents on vaccines. And what they do is not only, you're like, oh, well, they can't sell it to us, to people in the United States, but they can sell the patents to people in other countries, right? So and now they're also finding out vaccines are linked to huge, what am I trying to say? To autoimmune disorders. So when somebody has an autoimmune disorder, for example, I have asthma or allergies, you're on chronic medication for life. There are whistleblowers that have come out and that have said that they know that the pharmaceutical industry has no intention of curing people, because if they do, they'd be put out of business. So I mean, I know I just I nerded out a bit, but I'm gonna try, and the next little mini movie I do, I'm gonna try and put as much as what I just said in a format where you can kind of understand what I said and then go back and research it. Just bite size. Okay, she is from Austin. I'm not from Austin. I live in Austin, but I'm from LA. Born or raised in LA. Is the president knew the attack was coming? Yeah, I don't know about Pearl Harbor. Yeah, I've heard that they make you get like 30 different vaccinations in the military. It's insane. Z 3 and 60. I think that's how he's saying it. He says they make you get like 30 different vaccinations in the military. It's insane. I used to drive for Lyft. I don't drive for them any. I mean, I can for extra money, but I got another job. But I've had 3 people from the military on different occasions tell me that they've been injured from vaccines, and it's so funny because they didn't even know my stance. They just kind of were telling me. They were like telling me to be aware of it. But yeah. They also have a really high incidence of autism, their children, and mental retardation. Yeah, and they get them all in one. That's crazy. They put them all in one vial, and I saw the picture. They just line them up and inject them like cattle. What state are you in from, Claim? I'm in Texas right now. But I'm from LA. I'm from California. I escaped California. How can we contact you with information and facts? Right now, oh God, I gotta fix my email. Facebook message is the best way to reach me, because if I don't see it, then April will see it and she'll let me know. So let me see. What city are you from? I'm from LA, Big Mo. Robert Nero's wife just left him. Yeah, because he's a pussy. Is their Hollywood contract they can't talk bad of each other, lose their job? Yeah, I think that or it's just maybe it's not in their contract that they can't talk bad with each other, but they can get blacklisted. It's just going to cause drama if they want. 911 was a lie. Building 7 falling would take an idiot to believe. Yeah, I know. I totally don't believe the whole official story about 9. 9/11 truth. Hollywood's falling apart. Yeah, I know. Hey, girl. Hey, Tiffany. Reparations it assumes actual white supremacy. Now, I'm gonna be honest though. If somebody wants to cut me a check, I'm gonna take that shit. I'm not gonna be like, oh no, I'm taking that shit. Like, thanks. But I mean, like, I don't think it'd be good financially. My friend had a good idea. He was like, well, how about land grants maybe? I think just the main thing with reparations is that Black people feel left out, and understandably so. I mean, I just think that, they should have been fair and just not giving it to anybody. So it is fucked up that we just, other races get it, but we don't. A lot of people just see it as a slap in the face, if you think about it that way. But at the same time, it's not going to solve anything. So, I mean, if you ever seen, I don't know if you guys should look up Dave Chappelle reparations on YouTube. He does a really, really, it's a really funny skit, and it's like in the future, and Black people get reparations, and they just blow all their money. And I'm like, it's funny, but it's true. That's probably what will be happening, with the exception of a few people who are savvy. But a lot of blacks aren't. And I hope this changes. But a lot of blacks don't know about money. They don't know about business. They don't know how to invest their money. So, I hope that this gets better. But I don't know. Yes, Tiffany, I know about 40 acres in the move. Reparations only comes up in an election cycle. Yeah. But I mean, that's the thing. Like all these problems that we have, most of the problems that we have, money is not going to fix them. Like people talk about, money for the school system. It's not going to change the school system. What we need is safer communities. We need the ability to let children have have more options with learning. There needs to be diversity in thought in the school systems. There needs to be a better community. There needs to be fathers in the home. First half of my teaching career, I taught in South Central because that's where I lived in Koreatown in LA. And then when I was 8, we moved to South Central. And then when I was bused to Hollywood, like a performing arts school for high school. But when I start teaching, I wanted to teach in South Central. And I taught there the first half. And then at the second half, I taught in Taiwan. And then when I came back, I taught at a Chinese prep school for 2 years. And I would say the main difference between schools in the inner cities is like children don't have safe neighborhoods they don't have fathers, they don't have a family that supports their education. They're also being indoctrinated. The teachers are told what to teach, right? How can you study if you're worried about getting shot? If you have, drug dealers and gangs and pimps in your neighborhood. Whereas I noticed the Asian kids, like they didn't have that. They had more of a support system in getting an education. Now I think they have their own problems as far as like them being overworked and not that's it's like the other end of the spectrum. But yeah. So people don't realize what has actually been taken from us. Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. Reparations would be a good thing in the form of canceling student debt, building and funding more schools, and investing in the Black communities and having better trade schools. I would just say I like the student debt idea, but I think that should go for everybody because college is bullshit for the most part. I would say, but canceling student debt, that should go for every race. I think every race would appreciate that. But see, building and funding more schools, I don't even think, as a teacher, I don't think like I have a radical view toward about education. I don't really think that more schools need to be built. I think that there needs to be, first of all, we're being taught in a way that is not that doesn't facilitate our learning process. I believe, like, how come people aren't taught like mnemonics and photo reading, and they're not given, there just needs to be diversity of subjects and thoughts. There needs to be learning techniques that just taught in an early age to show people how to absorb information at a faster rate and still have a good comprehension. Trade schools would be great. Yeah. Reparations pursues victim mentality. Yeah, it does. I'm gonna still take that check. I'm just being honest. I'm not gonna like I said, but I mean, like I said, I'm not depending on that either. I'm not depending on reparations to do something with my life or to survive. Fighting at Walmart over man or woman is trust. No, but he said that he winked at her, and then she got mad that he winked at her. We should only have to work 2 days a week and live like kings. Well, that would be great. I wouldn't mind working more if I like working. You know what I mean? Like if I liked what I did, it doesn't really matter the amount of time you spend working. It matters, do you like your job? Most people don't like their jobs. They don't have any passion, right? We're trained to be, what is that? There's that quote by what's his face? Rockefeller, I think it's Rockefeller, that says, I want a nation of workers, not thinkers. So the way the education system is really not, it doesn't really train us to be entrepreneurs and people that think outside the box, no matter what race you are. If you're poor, right? So what am I trying to say? I saw, what was I was talking about? I read a comment and I got like distracted. Oh yeah, so working. Yeah, so if we had jobs that we liked, if we were working towards something we're passionate about, wouldn't matter how much we worked or didn't work. You know, gun grab going on now. It's getting bad. Oh no, the police said the motive was to help him get more money from Empire. That doesn't make sense. It actually cost him $4K out of his pocket. Well, I mean, like, he just probably thought it makes sense if he thought this publicity stunt would get him more attention, because a lot of actors are paid on TV shows depending on like how popular they are and how much attention they get, how so if it was twisted thinking, but I can see where that would make sense. Pharmaceutical industry complex, it's real. It is. I hate taking aspirin. I hate taking aspirin much less than any other drug. Is the military insanely? Yeah. Anthrax vaccine is bad. Backscore has pain at millions. Hello, Clint. Matt, humans can't break down synthetic chemicals. Yep, they can't. Our liver has to process all that stuff. It just, oh man, it's so bad. They're so bad. Get the likes up, I guess. Get the likes up. I got one dislike. I should like my own video. I like my own video. It's so funny. I looked at my analytics, and first time I checked it, like you can see like the amount of likes and dislikes, and sometimes you can break it down by whether someone is male or female. And there's some woman on the East Coast that like doesn't like me. I did a video that was 2 hours long, and as soon as it went up, there was a dislike. I was like, bitch, I know you don't watch that 2-hour video in like 2 seconds. So I know there's somebody. It's just kind of funny. I'll put a video up and I'll wait for that one dislike. So she's probably subscribed, and they're like, that bitch made another video. I can't wait to dislike, and then she dislikes it. So yeah, I know about that Bill Gates speech. Obama passed a law that allowed the media to, yep, no one that thoroughly researched vaccine. Yep, variants, not yet. Worth a read and a thought. Bill Gates literally had a mouth going for me. Yep. True. What's up, my sister? What's up, homeless conservative? Are you really homeless conservative? There should be 66 likes on here. That's fine. I mean, vaccines destroy the immune system and cause neurological. What do you guys think? Is there anybody in the chat room that like hates me because I don't like vaccines? Even the non-vac. Yeah. I have a friend that's a nurse. She has 4 kids, and she has like 4 kids. The first one was vaccinated, and her other 3 are not vaccinated. They're all healthy, and the first one is the only one that has health problems. And she didn't start researching until her first one had a reaction. She does autism, but she got really sick, and then her and her husband researched, and they were like, oh snap, like, the engine mini, yeah, but the squalene is like mineral oil, and mineral oil dries. Like, I don't even use mineral oil on my face, and messes up the joints and everything. It's awful. I escaped California. My son was vaccinated, and damn, it's so much. Bill Cosby got majority vote in Supreme Court. What does that mean? I bought this baby cash. Remember, he's being legal to keep people from getting uppity. Let me give you some people. Let me give you some. What? Okay, that was hilarious. Blacks would just squander it and ask for more. That's a stereotype. Blacks can invest. I'm not saying that blacks can't invest. I just think, generally speaking, that's something that the majority of us need to learn, and including myself. Like, I'm not, but a lot of blacks, they're not, this is like proven, they're not entrepreneurs, they're more consumers. You know, even the Koreans own the black hair care industry. Like, how are Koreans owning $1 billion industry? The black hair care industry is billions, and that's counting the legal market, not even counting the black market for weaves and stuff like that. So if anything, like, blacks need to have a hold on the hair care industry with all the fucking hair products we use and buy. And now there are you know, especially with the natural boom, with the natural hair industry, there are people that have started their own businesses and stuff. But if you want to talk numbers, the numbers show that blacks don't invest and they're more consumers. Bob Doblina. I'm not trying to be mean, and I'm not trying to, you know, I think we need to, like, be honest about this stuff so we can fix it. I'm not trying to, like, dog black people, but if we're not honest about stuff, we can't fix stuff. We have to be honest about, like, the gangs and stuff that kill other black people, because we can't fix it if we're not honest about it. You know, it doesn't mean that we're worse or you know, worse than any other race. We just need to be honest about the situations that's going on. You know, when white Europeans came here, they killed and attacked each other too, because of the culture classes between, like, the Irish and the Italians and Jewish people. Like, they had gangs and stuff too. Now that's stopped. They're in a different situation. Now it's us. Before then, we didn't have that problem. You know, there were fathers in the home. Blacks are more conservative. They're more stable. But we have to be honest about the situation, right? So we can do something about it. I just want to fix, like, I want it to be fixed. I'm not trying to, like, you know, dog for shits and giggles, but so a lot of whites don't have no money. Well, either. Yeah, but I know, but we're talking about black people, aren't we? I know. I'm just saying, like, can we be honest about shit so we can fix it and not get, like, butthurt, and just be honest and be like, okay, well, let's do something about it. You know? Terrence K. Williams probably targeted by Kamala Harris. Really? Oh, I know he was in an accident. Do you know that guy? Terrence, you guys watch him. He's so funny. He came out with a video where he was eating chicken and he was, like, playing the stereotypes, and he's a comedian, but he basically does videos where he'll just have a video, and he'll do a split screen, and he'll just make eye comment. I mean, like, big eyes, and just look at people and just, like, shake his head, or he'll just be eating food or something. But he was in a car. He's fine. But he was in a car accident in DC. So, are you saying that he said something about her nephew or his? I'm gonna have to look into Kamala Harris and him being related. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. You know, nothing surprises me now. Looks that way. We need more workers in skilled trade. Yeah. And you know, oh, thank you. Who is that? Thank you. Now I can get gas for the week. I'm just kidding. Black kids are worried about getting shot. Only gamers do. Electricians. Get rid of Common Core. Yes. It's the worst. Common Core is the worst. Grievance. You know the thing too about, like, did you know, okay, fun fact. Did you know that Whole Foods, a lot of their artisan cheeses come from people in prison? You know, there are a lot of prisoners that have skills and that know how to garden and how to farm and how to make clothes and stuff. Because prison has become, like, you know, slavery now. It's like slave plantation. But what really sucks is a lot of people that when they come out of prison, they have a hard time in getting a sustainable job because they have a prison record. So a lot of people go back into crime. But I was just like, what if they were to harness those skills and got real good at that and start their own business and become entrepreneurs? I knew somebody that wrote a book a while ago specifically targeted for people that were in prison to start their own business. Because that's probably one of the best options you have of thriving, so you don't have to go back into a life of crime. It's hard to get an apartment if you have a life of crime. I mean, You know, it's a fucked up system. That's true. When you're surviving, how can you have a goal? I know I couldn't. I had to run away at 14. Wow, yeah. Jiffy Juice to turn gay straight. Cancer. Jiffy Juice? Are you aware of what's happening in Venezuela? Yes. With the socialism? Or no, is there something else? Maybe there's something else I don't know. It's so much going on. Eating dogs and rats. I actually have a tutor I just started, and he's from Venezuela, and I'm gonna ask him next week, like what his Spanish tutor, and I'm gonna ask him next week what his opinion is. I actually lifted a guy from Venezuela, and he was saying that he was like, yeah, it's bad, and I was like, what the fuck happened? I've been talking to him in Spanish. I was like, cause he was straight out of Venezuela. I was like, where are you from? He's like, Venezuela. I was like, no, in serio? Like, blah 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 blah. And he was basically saying that like that the current president basically overrode the people and changed the system to socialism. A lot of people didn't even want it. They didn't even vote for it. I was like, are you serious? Anyone who believes someone else owes them anything is just stupid. Well, I mean, I don't think it has to do with stupidity. I think it just has to do with like, if you can get away with getting free money, then why, you know, you know, I mean, it's Tucker Carlson and who else? Somebody else did a really good like breakdown of how victim culture is rewarded. You know, being a victim is rewarded. If you're gonna get paid for, you know, making people feel guilty and getting, you know, something out of it, that's also a form of manipulation. So I wouldn't say it's stupidity. It's manipulative maybe. Yep, Asians were. Do you want any more money? That's funny. You guys are silly. I should start wrapping this up soon. Oh, thank you, thank you, Roger. His laugh is my ringtone. Hold on. Who had with DJJ? Who's DJJ? MGTOW. Do you have any more thoughts on MGTOW since the one stream you had with DJJ? Who's DJJ? Also, do you think things will get better between men and women? I did a couple of videos on MGTOW. I let me tell you guys, let me see if I can wrap up this MGTOW story. So my best friend who runs a channel, she did a video, didn't even really target MGTOW. We were talking about like how she mentioned how she believes it's like another form of divide and conquer and a way of like depopulation. It's kind of a window to depopulation. It's kind of like it's kind of like the extreme arm of the feminists. Like you have the angry feminists, we have the MGTOW and stuff. And she just kind of mentioned that in passing. So lo and behold, we just get like slammed with all these guys from MGTOW, like being like, fuck you, bitch, men, women, like we can't wait till the artificial womb comes out. You're gonna like women aren't needed anymore, and men did all the inventions, and you know, just like we're just like, what the fuck is this shit? So we kind of start researching MGTOW, and I don't know, we kind of went down a little rabbit hole. We made some videos on it. I understand why a lot of guys go MGTOW, but I think it's a whole systemic issue. You know, women are being bred to be narcissistic and materialistic, and men are just as materialistic. And you know, even Stefan Molyneux did a really good breakdown of the guy Sandman, and he was talking about, you know, he went MGTOW after the first two women that he was with, you know, were narcissistic and did him wrong and everything. And I guess he thinks like all women are like that. But what I notice a lot of the MGTOW men, they say that women just want to go after men with money. But I also know that a lot of the MGTOW are very shallow about the about the physical looks of women. So, I mean, like, they're not getting robots. You know, when they get those, they have those sex robots. They're not going for sex robots that are like overweight and bald but no titties. They're going for, like, you know, Barbie doll looking women. And I've even had some men that, you know, male friends that they were you know, friends around them told them that this woman is no good, this woman is trouble, and they're like, no man, whatever, blah 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 blah. And lo and behold, you know, they got screwed over by that person, and they kind of saw it too, but, you know, they were just enamored by her beauty or some superficial aspect about her that they got something out of. So I understand why people do it, but I also think if you're going MGTOW for the sake of, like, you're just mad and you're just through with women, I think that you're letting those evil women win and you're, like, cheating yourself. But at the same time, I think the laws are unjust with family law and women do have a lot of power and they get away with a lot of bullshit with, you know, in regards to kids and shit, like, you know, and as a woman, I've seen other women do really, like, horrible things to men. So, you know, and they're men that are very abusive to women. But I think that we hear more about the abusive man in women, which is true. I've had, you know, a couple of girlfriends that I've had psychotic fucking men, like, try to destroy their lives. But I've had, you know, the opposite you know, has happened too. I hope I didn't ramble too much. I hope that answers your question on MGTOW. But I wish, you know, as far as the MGTOW thing goes, I think a lot of the people that came on our page that was like, we can't wait till the artificial womb comes out and saying that we're worthless and stuff, like, that's like they're not doing good for the movement. They need, like, better representatives. I found one guy, I forgot his name, that, you know, made a lot of good points about the laws and stuff. And I would like to see those laws change. Because, you know, I have a brother, I have cousins, I have other men that I love as people. And, I don't want to see them get fucked over by crazy ass evil women, you know, because that does happen. Like, look at this whole Kavanaugh thing, you know, that was awful, that was terrible. Thank God, like, you know, he was confirmed, but they still drug him and his family through the mud with no evidence, right? This is just insane. But a lot of women are getting away, you know. What? They say it's Instagram exposed. I don't get flu shots. What? Jesus. Okay, I gotta look into this after I get off. Terrence from DC or MD. I don't remember which Terrence, but he's a comedian, basically. I don't know I can't think of his last name. Maybe so. Those talented people are behind bars. That explains why I got staph infection from Whole Food cheese. You got a staph infection from Whole Food cheese? Oh no, running your own business is true freedom. Yeah. Here are some orgs that help prisoners learn skills and get jobs so they can. Yeah, riots in Venezuela. Riots in Venezuela. I will look it up. CNN was saying that it's not Smollett's fault. I know. CNN, man, that place just needs to be. I don't know. Like, what is it gonna take for them to just like die? They're just like the worst. And this is before the election. Like, I already knew. If you guys look up this lady named Amber Lyon, like, she was a journalist for them, and she basically came out in like 2011 or 10, and she was saying that CNN was corrupt because they were paying her. They were basically taking money from governments to do positive stories on them. So it was like Bahrain. She was reporting in Bahrain, which is like, I think it's like Kuwait in the Middle East. And they were saying that, like, she was saying that they were giving, like, CNN was taking money from the government in order to write like positive stories. She was like, oh, hell no. She was one of the first journalists that came out whistleblowing. And then there was another guy, he died eventually, a German guy for the BBC, was talking about, you know, the same thing, that they fabricate stuff. And then that whole incident, the whole war, they were one of the main people that perpetrated the Gulf War, when that lady was like, they took the babies out of the incubators and they put them on the ground, and, you know, and millions of people dead, their lives destroyed because of fake news. So I don't even, Brian Williams is lying. He lied and he's still working. Okay. He lied about, being shot down in a helicopter. Didn't like, they try to make it off. He's like, oh, I misremembered. I'm like, no, you fucking lied. You lied. Anyway, sorry, I went on that CNN tangent. They're trying to take out the president. I know, pray. I'm not really, I'm going to vote this election. I didn't vote last election, as some of you know. But I have a lot of allergies and ticks. I'm always like rub my nose and my ears and stuff. I bet you that body language coach, you might watch my channel and be like, she's lying. She's rubbing her ears and her nose and you can see. But yeah, I mean, this whole thing about the presidency, which really is fascinating, is that they don't, what am I trying to say? They don't, it's fascinating because it's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So all these, I just see the amount of people that are going after him and going after his supporters. I've never seen anything like this in my life. And I think that it's bigger than just this election. I think it's a global awakening. This is how I'm interpreting what's happening. It's a global awakening. And, it's ricocheting around the world. This whole rise of populism and stuff is not just Trump. I think it was the door that opened. And yeah, so I do pray, I do pray for the president when I think about it, because, God forbid if anything happens to him, this country, I mean, we're already like right on the edge. Fucking something happens to him, this country is going to flip the fuck out, especially after all of the people that have been so mean and violent towards Trump supporters. And most people in most situations have not fought back. We've kept our cool, all of the physical, like people that have been, like physically hurt at protests, people have been going off, people have lost their jobs. I just saw this really good walkaway video with this guy that was talking about, and he was black too, by the way, just on the subject, we were talking about black entrepreneurs. It was one of the best walkaway videos I've seen. And he was basically talking about like they're all pretty good though. But anyway, he was talking about like he started his own business and how hard he worked to start his own business. And then the people that he was renting the building from, he makes hot dogs. But anyway, the people that he was renting the building from found that he was a Trump supporter and had him evicted, And so God forbid if something happens to him, people are gonna like, I'll probably go out and riot. Because, it's unreal the amount of discrimination. They don't talk about. I have two friends that were, or actually a friend, I'm more friends with her, but she owns a music store with her husband, and they were run out of Chicago when they were found out they were Trump supporters. The nicest lady, really smart, really cool, So God forbid something happens to him, people were going, I will lose my shit. I think at that point, God forbid it's justifiable to go out and snap somebody. Am I single? Yes. Are you trying to take out the president of Venezuela? They're trying to take out. Who's trying to take out? Okay, I'm gonna get on this after. I'm gonna look up Kamala Harris. I bought a pen and a paper this time, if you notice, because you guys always give me some good tips. So I'm making notes. You are a fan. Fake news. I'll take it to dinner if you vote into it. Yeah, I'm going to vote, Miss M. Smith. I'm gonna vote for Trumpy. It's so funny. I remember though, I was really depressed and I thought Hillary was going to win and I didn't vote. I didn't even watch. This is how detached it was. I don't have a TV anyway. I didn't even watch the debates or anything. I was just like over it. And then I just decided to turn on my computer to see who was winning. And I woke up that day, I called my best friend. I was like, oh, today sucks. Hillary's going to win. Just because I didn't even look at the polls. I just knew that she's a crazy, lying, evil, cheating, demonic bitch. And I thought they were just going to, she was going to steal it. But I never bought into the whole thing that Trump was racist, because I saw him in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, I knew, like, all the people that loved him. Like, nobody said anything. And this is so funny about the people that are young that don't remember this. You know, they're easily brainwashed because they don't even remember, like, how he was so loved. Like, everybody loved him until he ran for president. So I was just like, really? They're just figuring out he's racist now? This is stupid. I was like, fuck both sides. I'm not voting, whatever. So then, yeah, he won. I called my friend. I was like, oh my God, I think he's going to win. I didn't even care if he won at that point, but I just didn't want Hillary to win. But what's funny is now I'm like, we were on the verge of like losing our freedom, like losing our country. Had she won, our country would have already been gone. So it was a blessing. And I think that there are angels, and I think our government has done some horrible things, but I also think that this country has done some good things. So I think that, you know, it seems like we're getting another chance. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Oh God. I hope they don't kill him though. Like, I just really don't. That's Jimmy and Moog. Let me see. Yellow vest. All right, I think I made it pretty much to the end. I always say that I'm gonna stay on for an hour, and it's always like an hour and more. But let me get out of here. I need to go to bed. I usually have to get up really early, but thank you guys for joining me. I'm gonna try and do this more often. And thank you for all the new subscribers, all the old subscribers, for your support. And I will, yes, Terrence Williams, sorry. I will see you later. All right, peace, tune, love you guys. Bye. Mwah.